I've been using this Mac as my main computer in the past week, just using it for everything's like workings and even playing some games. In today's videos, I'll show you what it's actually like to use, what it can do, and where it starts to struggle. We'll go through different apps from light stuff to more heavy ones like Premiere Pro. So without further ado, let's start our test with the most common app, Microsoft Word. We're going to open this document with over 60 pages, mixed with image and link. This is pretty close to the size and format I usually work with. And yeah, no surprise, it's handle it pretty well. The opening is fast, scrolling feel comfortable, and formatting text or image all feel pretty instant on this MacBook Neo. Even features like track change, which usually require real-time processing, but as you can see, it still keep up without any issue. I also try pushing it a bit by opening over 10 documents at once to see how it handles RAM. And as I checked in Activity Monitor, the RAM was still manageable. And of course, everyone will have their own way to use Word, and I cannot cover everything in one video, but for general use, this Mac can handle it effortlessly. Coming up next, we have the Excel performance test. If you think I was being too easy on Word, then this one will be a bit different. What I'm using here is a pretty complex Excel file. It has over 4,000 rows of data and is packed with complex formulas in the Data Analysis tab. Now let's try some real-time stuff. Some things like sorting the data using different options. From what I can see, there's not much delay, but at the same time, it's not perfectly smooth. You can still feel a bit of stutter here and there, but it's still acceptable. Another thing I try is creating a quick chart from this data. And as you can see, it feels pretty instant when create them, as well as formatting in different ways. When the data update, the chart also update along with it. And I know a lot of people use pivot tables, so I added a data set here to test that as well. So let's create one as an example. First, we need to select the whole data set, go to Insert, then create a recommend pivot table. And yeah, you can see it's happened pretty much instantly, very nice and smooth. Next up, we're gonna do some PDF editings on this Mac, and for this part, I'll be using UPDF, which is our sponsor for today's videos. I've actually been using this for a while now instead of Adobe Acrobat, mainly because I got tired of paying my monthly subscription. And switching to UPDF actually cheaper, and it's given me a lot of things. A lifetime license, cloud storage, and on top of that, I also get access to a bunch of AI tools in the first year. One thing I really like about UPDF is how light and simple it is. From download to install, it took less than a minute. But at the same time, it's not just a basic PDF editor. It has a lot of tools that go beyond just creating or editing PDF. The way this app works is also really nice and user-friendly. For example, whenever I select any text, all the tune I might need just show up right above it, so I can edit way faster. And if I switch to reviewing mode, the toolbar now changes automatically to things like highlighting or commenting, which is so convenient. But that is not the best part yet. It has a lot of built-in AI tools that you should try. If you usually read or do research on a daily basis, these AI features are actually really helpful. You can ask the AI question about the documents, do a quick translation, or generate a clear summary from a long context. And by having all the necessary tools inside one platform, just have you focus and get things done faster. So if you want to switch to UPDF, this is actually the good time to do it because they dropped the big promotion. So just check on the link down in the description below and ask me if you have any question. Try it, it's really worth it. Now it's time to push this Mac a bit. We are going to do some photo editings in Lightroom. I'll start by importing over 100 photos from my external SSD. These are all compressed raw files, around 40 MB each. And unsurprisingly, the Neo handled it just fine. It only took under 30 seconds to import everything in. Overall, the experience feels pretty smooth. Not that different from my M3 Mac Pro when working with similar files. The only thing I noticed here is the preview can be a bit delayed when you zoom in. Not a big deal honestly, I'm just pointing that out since we are testing. Also, when you use AI tools like denoise, raw detail, or super resolution, It does take a bit of time to process. Just be patient, but you will not notice any crash or freeze while we are doing it. However, for basic stuff like adjusting light, colors, or apply preset, it won't happen pretty much instantly. I also tried some multitasking like applying one edit to multiple images and exporting a full batch in high quality JPEG. And here's the result. Exporting the whole batch took a bit over 4 minutes and applying preset to multiple images took under a minute. It's not super fast, but it's not too slow either. I think with this speed, it's still very much usable. So photo editing is totally fine. Now let's see if this Mac can handle video editings with Premiere Pro. I already prepared a sample project for this test. All footage is shot in 4K, mixed between 60 and 30 FPS. The first thing I test is how smooth it is to scrub to the timeline, and as you can see, it actually does a pretty good job. Not like buttery smooth, but it's not that bad. The preview keep up with the timelines and audios, everything looks quite normal. Until I switch the preview to full resolution, that is where we start to see stuttering and delay. And if you add any graphics or template, you'll probably have to drop the preview quality even more to keep things smooth. Adding effects or doing motion adjustment isn't really smooth either, but the delay is still pretty minimal. One thing that surprised me is the USB-C speed. Even though it is not Thunderbolt port, but it's still fast enough. I was editing directly off an external SSD and it's worked perfectly. Honestly, I didn't feel much different compared to working with an internal file. While testing in Premiere, I also checked the activity monitor, and yeah, we are basically out of RAM. The system had to use swap memory from the SSD, which probably explains the delay you are seeing. When it comes to video editing, it's not always about like how powerful your computer processor is, like your CPUs or GPUs. That's only matter the most when you do renderings. And in this case, exporting a 6-minute 4K video took a bit over 10 minutes, which honestly isn't that far off from my M3 Pro, which does it in about 6 minutes. But during editings, you are dealing with a lot of data in real time, so RAM matters a lot more for smooth playback. But with only 8 GB of RAM, this already kind of impressive. And it's actually changed my mind after I made this video. So this computer is no longer just for students. If you are a content creator for YouTube or you are a small business owner, getting this 600 MacBook Neo actually makes a lot of sense. Let me know in the comment what do you think about these ideas and what do you want to know more about this Mac. Just give me the recommendation and I'll make a video about it. Thank you all for watching and I'll catch you soon in the next video.